Complex PTSD. Have you heard this word? Have you been in an abusive situation and you feel like you're reactive, you're depressed, or you're really anxious? CPTSD is a result of prolonged exposure to abuse. It is something that is very pervasive, that we have to deal with every single day, that is a result of our body being conditioned into the trauma and getting into a habit and a pattern of reacting and functioning a certain way. Some of the symptoms of PTSD are having this feeling of anxiety and dread that basically never goes away. An anxiety over anything. Nothing could be going on and it could be completely peaceful, but especially in anxiety with meeting new people, in relationships, how people are going to react, respond, always worrying about things. That is a very prominent, some people call it the dread. It's just this dread that you have. Another is being very frazzled, but at the same time, really depleted because your adrenals are very depleted. So maybe half the time you just feel like, again, this nervous, anxious anxiety, but then you get so tired sometimes that you're just like, oh, I don't have any energy. Like, well, I can't connect with people. I'm depressed. I'm tired. I don't want to do anything. You know, you're not motivated. And there's also this feeling of hopelessness and self-criticism as well. Like you just feeling unworthy, you know, to have that job, to have a good relationship where maybe you'll try to go for them, but somewhere there's a loop going on where you don't feel that you deserve it. That's one of the results of abuse too, is that, like I've said, it's not about forgiving other people. It's usually about forgiving ourselves because we feel shame because we've taken on the shame of other people. Another result of CPTSD and abuse could be like hyperarousal, which I think is a tough one to talk about because relationships and how people are in relationships and open relationships is such, you know, it's just so individual. But speaking from experience, it can definitely have an effect on the brain and arousal and how that functions. So try not to be too hard on yourself. That's why I really love the practice of Kundalini, and I have always loved it because it works with the creative force energy. It works with your Kundalini energy, and we're actually balancing that energy and using it for healing energy throughout the whole body. So instead of feeling like your desires are running your life, you can go sit down and meditate for 10 minutes and it can turn into creative energy that you could go use for work, to put in your life in a different way and to heal. Another result of having CPTSD is having trouble maintaining relationships because there's a lot of fear and you might not always be seeing things the way that they are. We don't trust people and we just don't want to get close to people because getting close to people meant so much turmoil. And it's honestly just easier to be by ourselves and be on our own because we don't have those pressures. We don't have the stimuli. So relationships can be a challenge, but just make sure that you're not judging yourself for that because honestly, the truth is there's a lot of challenges with relationships. Like no matter who you are, no matter what challenges you've had, I've seen people who have massive challenges in their life and you would be surprised that they, yes, are able to maintain a relationship. But then some people who you think have it all and have everything together and have the job, the house, the car, the this, the that, and their relationship ends. Something happens and they're having trouble maintaining things. It's just the fact that one would judge themselves about that is where you want to move out of from. You want to move into a space where you can just accept. That's the beauty of being in these challenging situations, but then realizing that they are pathways to deeply love ourselves and discover our own magnificence and be so grateful for who we are. Another symptom of CPTSD is difficulty and challenge controlling your emotions. And you have a challenge self-regulating your emotions, and then a challenge accepting those emotions, because we have been conditioned and are constantly conditioned, actually still in the self-help world, in yoga and meditation world, that we only want the positive emotions, not the negative emotions. Okay, so newsflash, the negative emotions are actually really important. They are just as important as the positive ones, even though there's all this research and the Dr. Emoto with the water and saying positive words. Doubling down and judging the negative emotions is a negative emotion. So you want to love and accept as deeply as you can your negative emotions. One cannot exist without the other. That's the of experiencing in this world, that you do have to have both. And we're so inundated with force yourself to do that and force yourself to do this. Well, when you are dealing with CPTSD, you are dealing with brain functioning, and it's sometimes not a matter of choice. It's just what's happening in your brain. So take a deep breath and remember to be kind to yourself. Find ways to learn how to emotionally regulate, and find people around you who are okay with you expressing things at times that may feel powerful to you. Because there are people out there who are going to be able to sit with your grief and your sadness and your loss. They're going to be okay with that. Again, the nervous system regulation, this is where that really comes in. Finding techniques to regulate the nervous system and just let go of the emotions. Not in a way that you're rejecting them, but almost releasing them, so that you're giving them a space to find the acceptance that you so want. Accepting them and just saying, I'm here. You can release, you can let go. Having a conversation with your own emotions. This is the core of, I feel, the work with CPTSD and trauma recovery. So my 7-day nervous system reset is all about addressing these emotions and regulating our endocrine system, hormonal system, learning breath work and techniques for calming down and regulating the nervous system, so that we can sit with these emotions and regulate, so that we can show up and be in life the way that we want to be and deserve to be. VenusTransmissions.com. Thank you. Satnam.